Okay, so the Hebrew gematria for the word, what's that good? Is that correct? Ishmael? G-A? Okay, hallelujah. For the word Shema is the number 410. We're looking at the word again, Shema. What is the, I'll do it this way. This is Sheen, the Mem, and the Hey. Shema.
I'm sorry, G-E.
Oh, it is the E?
Yeah, just the E, but not the R.
Not the R.
Oh, okay. Start. And that's that's number 410. I found very interesting in looking up this word a little bit more. The numerical value for the word Kodesh is 410. So what we have now is the Shema, which means to be obedient, and the word Kodesh means to be set apart. And when we say the Shema, and look at the Hebrew gematria of these words here now, we see how these two words here, they coincide with one another grammatically. And we should be able to see a connection here. So to be obedient means to be set apart. All right? To be obedient means to be set apart. Let's see here. Everybody has their paper with the Hebrew, the Shema. The last word in the first line of the Shema is what? Right? That's the last word. Can we get a total? So I guess everybody agrees. The last word in the first line of the Shema is Akkad. All right, the word Akkad means what? One, a unity. Its numerical value is 13. And the Hebrew numerical value for the word Ahav is 13. And everybody knows the word Ahav means love. So, in order to love, you must be in Akkad. You see how this whole thing is working here? You can't make any mistakes with this. There's no such thing as a coincidence. We have the Shema, which means to listen or to obey, and that's the Hebrew gematria 410. And we have the word Kodesh, to be set apart. Is the Hebrew gematria is 410. All of this coincides with one another. This is what we call a relationship, according to the scriptures. Okay, we looked at the word we can show how important this word Akkad, numerical value, or the Hebrew gematria is 13, which means unity, love. The word Ahav means love, and we need all of these two. And they make up one. 13 plus 13 is what? 26. The number 26 is the Hebrew gematria for Yahuah. So how can we go wrong here? This doesn't exist. This has no Hebrew gematria at all. I mean, that I in your vocabulary and pertaining to having a relationship with the Father. We have to be an Akkad, means to love. 13 plus 13 is 26, which gives you now the number of the Yod, A, WH, W. This is what that gives you. That's the number 26. This is the reason why we say, is Yahuah in your life? Is love a part of your life? Are you in Akkad? The word Shema means to be obedient. And if we can factor all of these things into our lives, now you have a Mashiach consciousness. Let's go to, let's look at one more thing here. Our relationship with the Father is so important in that it takes complete obedience. And the Hebrew word for obedience is what? Who said that? Shema. Right, this is Shema. It's not a trick. It's not a trick. The Hebrew word for obedience. Do something here real quick. 1 second here. Because we can stop some of this feedback here. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, our relationship with Yahuah takes complete, and that's the operative word that we need to capitalize on here, is complete obedience to the Father's Torah. Again, in order to have a relationship with Yahuah, it takes a complete, or for us to have complete obedience to his Torah. And to prove that, we'll go to the book of Revelations 10 and 10 to see whether or not we can exercise this word right here into our vocabulary and see whether or not we're still in Torah. Revelations 10 and 10. Revelation 10 and 10. It says, just a quick recap here, we have John here on the island of Patmos in Asia Minor here. He was exiled. And we have him given, he's given instructions. Okay, the messenger comes to him and he said, let's go to verse 9. When I went up into the messenger and said unto him, give me the little book, and he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. What does that mean? Verse 9. Revelation the 10th chapter, verse 9. And I, which is now Yahuah or John, went into the messenger and said unto him, not more Eliyahu, I don't want him to give the answer. And I went into the messenger and said unto him, give me the little book, and he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Sadiqwa, Fasad about Yashra'al, what does verse 9 mean?
When you first take it, it's going to seem sweet. When you first understand the Torah, it's going to seem sweet. But then when you realize, when it goes down, it's going to start to become bitter. When you don't want to start to submit, and some of the things that you don't want to change, it's going to start to become bitter. Or when it becomes personal.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And like Malcolm X said, and I'm going to apply this to Torah, and how we going to say it, how we going to do it here, is that we all say that we love the Torah, right? We love we love Yahuah. Oh, I love Yahuah. But when the chicken comes to roost and it is now on your doorstep, and you're going to have to now do this very thing that you gave a judgment call on with another brother or sister, all of a sudden now, I can't do that. Nah. Nope, can't do that. So it becomes an issue. So again, when the chicken comes home to roost, it is now sitting on your doorstep, it's now on your lap. Those same judgments that I gave to another brother or sister, guess what? You better also be able now to receive it and apply that also to your life. If you can't do that, you can't be a shepherd. Every shepherd, when we get to Yahuah, Isaiah, all of the prophets, every single last prophet was sent by the Father, okay, to ask, not even to ask, but to tell the nation of Yashra'al what they need to do in order to have this relationship, that they need to come back and follow Torah. Each one of these men died a horrific death. Each and every last one of them. When you walk this walk here, you must put your life on the line. You will be challenged. If you're not able to do that, fine, no problem. Sit back in your seats and just read. And just listen. And try to get a better understanding of the scripture. Not everybody's supposed to teach. Not everybody is going to put their lives on the line. And this is what this is all about. Putting yourself on the line. As the Messiah gave his life for the bride, it is now time for you to put your lives on the line for the Messiah, making sure that his word gets out, because you are the salt of the earth. You have a responsibility with this Torah here. All right. Verse 10. Because we all like it at first, until now we have to apply it to our lives. And I took the book, John, the little book, out of the messenger's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth, as he said, sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. Man, I didn't know how to do all of that. I thought once I come back into Torah, it's just going to be smooth sailing and everything is going to be all right. Nah. Doesn't work like that. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel 3, the 3rd chapter. Because we will be tested and tried, every last one of us, to know whether or not you're going to follow the will of Yahuah, as Abraham did. Okay? Abraham followed the father. Everybody claims Abraham as their father because of how noble Abraham was. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, verse 1. Moreover, again there's a messenger said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So what we have here now is that he's going to take this roll from this messenger, he's going to eat it, and his commission is to go to the house of Israel. You can't learn this knowledge, sit on your hands, because the scripture says that no man lighteth a candle and put it underneath a bush. Who does that? When you get this understanding of the Torah, every brother and sister here in this congregation, your responsibility now is to be a walking, living Torah. I should be able to see the Torah in you, and you should be able to see the Torah in me. If we can do that, then we're all in one accord. Which gives us love. Which gives us the Shema. Okay? All of this is comprised. Shema. Or without the H. So that's this. So we see the commission here. Verse 2. Oh, so I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. Verse 3, and he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Let's speed it up here a little bit. The book of Devarim, the 4th chapter. Devarim, the 4th chapter, or the book of Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. I'm going to be reading verses 5 through 6. 5 through 6. I'm going to read 1 through 6. Watch how personal this gets. Now therefore hearken, O Yashra'al, unto the statutes and the judgments which I teach you, for to do them that you may live. So in order to live, you must do the Torah. And go in and possess the land, which Yahuah your Elohim, the Elohim of your fathers, giveth you. Now, verse 2. You shall not add unto the words which I command you, neither shall you diminish anything from it, that you may keep the commandments of Yahuah your Elohim, which I command you. Why? Is because your eyes have seen what Yahuah did because of Baal Peor and of the men that follow Baal Peor. Yahuah thy Elohim have destroyed them from among you. But you did not cleave unto Yahuah your Elohim, but yet you are alive, every one of you, this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahuah my Elohim commanded me, this is Moshe talking now, that you should do so in the land whether you go to possess it. Keep therefore, verse 6, keep therefore and do them. Do them is going to bring us back into something that I keep talking about all the time, is application. Application. That's going to be key. So to do them, we're talking about application. If we were to do this, this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and should surely say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So again, we cannot be associated with Greek or Western society. Everybody here, I believe, wants to follow Hebrew customs, meaning that, let me just speak for myself. I don't put nobody under the gun here. Me personally, I want back my language, my land, my customs, everything that the enemy has stole from me, I want it all back. All of it back. All right? I don't agree with any of the customs here in America. None of it. According to Scripture, the only way that I can have peace is I come back to Torah and follow all of the customs. I believe that every single problem that's happening in your life can be solved in Torah. I believe that. That's the reason why we have elders, okay? We have judges. If there's a problem, we bring it to the body and we fix it according to Torah. They don't do that in Western society. This is what the Pharisees began to do. They use this word kobine. Word kobine means what? A gift, right? If you give me a gift, or if I can bribe you a little bit, you know what? Then you know what? I can turn the tables of judgment. But that's not what we're doing here. We want to come full front and center, all right? Again, we want our laws back. We want our names back, our heritage, our customs. We want all of that back. All of it. Now, question. Anyone know what the word here and what the word hear and obey means in Hebrew? The words hear and obey. The word hear hear and obey means in Hebrew? Start with the sister here. What about Sister Shaya? Oh, okay. All right. You got an answer? Okay.
These are the notes I've been taking.
Sure.
I wasn't here last week, but I would just say this is Shema.
Yeah. Exactly. It's Shema. That's it. No secret. To hear, to obey. It is Shema. Let's go to the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus, the 24th chapter. The 24th chapter, we're going to be verses 4 through 8. I just want to make sure that it's clear where I'm coming from and what everybody should be expecting from me, because this is what the Father is expecting from me. So what the Father is expecting from me, this is what you should expect from me also. The book of Exodus, the 24th chapter, I'm going to read verses 4 through 8. And what we want to capitalize here on, we want to explain a little bit more on what does this word hear and obey means. We know that it means Hebrew, and in Hebrew it means Shema, but we want to look at it a little bit more deeper here. Now, to show you how serious this walk is here, okay? And I just want everybody to take it serious. Okay. And Moses wrote all the words of Yahuah, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Yashra'al, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yahuah. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book. Anybody know what book that is? I'm going to ask, I'm just going around, what about Pt2? Do you know what that book is? He says that he took the book of the covenant. I read all of them, so, you know, it might be helpful. And he took the book of the covenant, and he read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that Yahuah has said we would do and be obedient. So the question now becomes, what is that book?
The commandments and the statutes and the law.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So this book, just like what Coachy said, she said, this is talking about the law, statutes, commandments. That book is it's a ketubah. All right? And why do we say that it's the ketubah? Well, it's going to explain itself. And he took the book of the covenant and he read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that Yahuah has said, we will do. Or, I do. Just like in a marriage. I do. And Moses took the ketubah, or the book, the Torah, and he sprinkled now, and he took the blood, and he took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahuah have made with you concerning all these words. So I brought all of that out here now to say, when we're talking about to hear and to obey, what is it that we're obeying? What is it that we're obeying to? We're obeying to the ketubah. All that Yahuah has said that we should do, we're supposed to be doing that because this is a blood covenant. Devarim, the 4th chapter, the 2nd verse tells us that we're not supposed to add or take away from this contract. This is a blood covenant. This covenant was given to the bride by the groom, and this disqualifies again. I'm going to keep capitalizing on that word right there. That's not in the ketubah. It's not your will. Put it that way. It's not your will. It's all based upon the will of Yahuah. Okay. In our Western culture, listening, this word right here, to listen. And the Hebrew word for to listen is what?
Shema.
Right, Shema. Now, listening in Western cultural, in Western culture, is a mental activity, meaning that listening just means that our ears are picking up sounds. That's all it is. But however, in Hebrew, the word Shema means something totally different. In Hebrew culture, listening is associated with application. So to listen, we have to incorporate this word along with it. Application. Usually in conversations that two people are having, when they're conversing with one another, only thing that they're, for the most part, you're hearing tones and rhythms. And what a lot of times that you might hear when two people might be discussing something, they're only waiting for the opportunity for them to respond, and they're not listening to what you're saying. And we want to show how that's not the Shema. For example, almost every place in the Sefer, or in the first five books here, whenever you see the word obey, almost every time in the Old Testament, you get the word Shema. Every single time. So this word Shema, again, is associated with obeying, or to obey. Almost every single time that you see the word obey again, you're going to find the word Shema. Let's go to the book of James, the book of Yahuah, the first chapter. Get 1:21 to 24. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be you doers of the word, and not hearers only. Because when you do this, you're deceiving yourselves. For if any man be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is likened unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself, and forgetteth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So we see how this thing is operating here. With this word, Shema, obeying, listening, application, because just to hear the word and not actually practicing what you're teaching or what you're walking in is not what this whole thing is supposed to be about. All right? What we got here? We good? Because we're about to close, shut it down. We good? Okay, what I'm going to do with the Shema, I'm going to read the first line, and then I'm going to have Yahuah Yashra'al to read it in English, all right? So the first one actually says, Shema Yashra'al, Yahuah Eloheinu, Yahuah Echad, or Echad.
Hear Yashra'al, Yahuah our Elohim, Yahuah is one.
Hallelujah. Now, okay, Rabbi Wolf, Ezekiel, what do you see, or what stands out for you and the first line of the Shema that we just read?
It's specific to Yashra'al.
Hallelujah. It's specific. It's talking about to Yashra'al. And as it says in here, O Yashra'al, Yahuah Elohim is Akkad, or one. Cameron, what do you notice in the first line of the Shema? What do you see that's interesting? Yeah, that stands out like a sore thumb.
But it's saying that Yahuah is our the people of Yashra'al.
Right, hallelujah. Hallelujah. We're going to take one more. Somebody, we can take two more, no problems. We have
I see hear and obey.
hear and obey, exactly, which brings us back, reiterating the Shema.
Same thing, the word.
Okay, and
Yahuah declaring himself. Yahuah declaring himself.
Yahuah declaring himself, absolutely. Absolutely. Sadiq, what do you see that's sticking out like a sore thumb in the first line of the Shema?
Just the word here, Shema.
Right, to hear, right? It goes back to the word Shema again, which means to be obedient and everything. But what's interesting about that is that we know that there's no capital letters in Hebrew, right? So we have the ayin and we have the dalet. You see that those are capital letters? The last, in the word Shema, the last letter is capitalized. Everybody sees that? But there are no capital letters in Hebrew. In the last letter, Akkad, okay, we see another capital letter. That capital letter is what? The Dalet, right. So we have the word Ad, or Ed. So we have now, that word in Hebrew means witness. This Torah is a witness for, it can work for you or against you. So here, O Yashra'al, Yahuah is an Elohim. This Yahuah Elohim, and then it has Yahuah again, and then it has the word Akkad. So we have a Yahuah. I write it this way, Elohim, and we have, I'll do it with proper respect. We can do it that way. And we have a Yahuah. Everybody sees that?
Yeah.
And then we have the word witness, right? The Hebrew word Ad. This is your witness. What's going on in verse 1? Hear, O Israel, there's going to be a witness, which is Yahushua HaMashiach, and we should hear, which is Shema, which means to obey this witness, which is the Shema, and the Shema is Torah. Everybody's told?
Okay.
So, again, the witness also learned that in order to be a witness to Torah, you must be able to hear and you must be in Akkad. Our primary function as Hebrew Israelites is to be living to be a living testimony of the sovereign of Yahuah. You must love Yahuah with all your being. And when you do that, you're now in one accord, because we have the word Akkad, Okay, and we have the word Shema. And once we compile all of that into our lives, now we have that relationship. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 5:17, and that's going to be the last scripture for today. Did we do 155 for the 2 hours? Okay, so, we got a little bit more then. No problem. 2 Corinthians, I just want to make sure that everybody is understanding what's going on, because Maury Eliyahu and I, we had a long conversation a couple of days ago, and I'm about exhausted, to tell you the truth. I don't think I can go to another council. Not now. It's, I don't know. 2 Corinthians 5:17. 17:21. Just please listen to me, this is very important. Therefore, if any man be in the Messiah, he is a new creature. Are we all new creatures? Because what happened now is that I remember specific instructions being given, the importance of an immersion. Everybody knows what an immersion is, right? Okay, the old you dies once you go underneath the water. When you come up, you're a new creature. So all the things that happened in the past is supposed to be done away with. We're now supposed to be a new creature in the Messiah, a new being. All things are done away with because the Messiah at the end is going to make all things new. We must practice these things in our lives. Watch this. This is what the scripture says. Therefore, if any man be in the Messiah, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. And all things are of Yahuah, have reconciled us to himself by Yahushua HaMashiach. And the witness is that the Messiah said, when he began to expound a little bit more to his Talmudim, he said, listen, I come in the volume of the book. All right? Again, and all things are of the Father, who have reconciled us to himself by Yahushua HaMashiach, and have given to us the ministry of reconciliation. Okay? I apologize, and I'm going to acknowledge the transgressions or the sins that I've committed against you. Brother, what I need to do now is make sure that my plate is clean. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to have to stand before the Father. So what I need to do, I need to make sure that I understand what it means when we do, that's another lesson though. What does the word mikvah mean in Hebrew? What does it mean? Because it doesn't have the same meaning from what I'm hearing the way that they do it in the Christian church. A mikvah in Hebrew is something totally different. All right? Not all things, verse 19. To wit that the Father was in Hamashiach, reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their trespasses unto them, and have committed unto us the word of reconciliation. So if the Father is going to send his Son to reconcile, to bring the bride back to the Father again, why is it now is that we can't forgive one another so that we can also be in one accord? Because we all have to answer to the same mighty one. Well, are we all supposed to be obedient to the same mighty one? Then so why all the problems and issues? And Yashra'al, I'm not talking to anybody in particular, okay? But let me just put up my disclaimer. I didn't do it at the beginning. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying, listen, you know what? Let's make sure that we follow the scriptures. Verse 20. Now, then we are ambassadors for the Messiah. When we do these things, when we forgive one another, now then we are ambassadors for the Messiah, as though the Father did beseech you by us. We pray you in the Messiah's stead that you be reconciled to the Father. Reconciliation. This is what we're talking about. For he hath made him to be sin for us who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of him, of the Father in him. All right, so that pretty much speaks volumes within itself. What we're going to have to do another time is go through each line in the Shema, because these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, these 8 lines here is a class all by itself. And if this doesn't cut to the bone for people to understand the fullness of what this is all about, nothing else will. It's not going to happen. I'm going to read it in Hebrew, and I'm going to have my brother Yahuah ben Yashra'al actually do it in English. And again, we gave out the Shema maybe about 4 months ago. So we should all be a little bit familiar with the Shema. If we can't recite it, we should be able to identify the Hebrew characters here. Moray, those that got in contact with you and wanted the list of the slaves with the Hebrew names, the things that they were given out, if anybody got in contact with you?
The ones that contacted me.
Oh, okay, great, hallelujah. So quickly now, in the first line, anybody knows what that first letter is? The second line? Oh,
Second line?
yeah, the second line, because we read the Shema Yashra'al, Yahuah, Elohino, Yahuah, and Ket. So we read that line.
Best. You said the first letter in the second line?
Right.
Best.
This, you're looking at this letter here, right?
Yes.
What letter is that?
That's the second.
You said the bets, right? The bets? Okay. Bets. Everybody agree? Okay, so this first letter is actually U. This is the U, or they have the Y sound. Okay, and that means and. So we have, and the next letter is an olive. The next letter is a hay. The next letter is a vet. And the last one is a tau, a thought or a tau. So we have U, and we have Pt2.
You shall love.
I know. Wait, where are you go?
The
Because
second letter, the second line.
Is this one over here says read
Softly.
softly?
No, the second line.
I'm
You know you
I
read
see-
right to left now.
Right, I'm doing that. I'm doing right to left, but I'm looking at something
Softly.
totally different.
Yeah,
That's
the
why I
second-
was best.
So the one under the softly line.
right, exactly, right. Yeah, so my fault, Mr. McCall. So what we're doing is that now
Okay.
we're reading the not the softly,
Okay.
because what happened is that with the Shema, there's a way that you're supposed to say that you do it, is that you're supposed to cover your eyes with your hands, and you're supposed to recite it. But that's another lesson again. And I don't want to go into that today. I just want to we're going to keep it kind of simple here. So the second letter, what do we have for that letter?
Which way are we going?
Got it?
From right to left.
Got
The second letter
In,
is
in the first line, yeah, the first letter,
an olive.
right, it's an olive. And the next one is a,
And
and the next one is a,
that.
and top, right, exactly. So like you said, and that's Pt2. We have an X, and we know that the they use that. They say that doesn't mean anything. It's like a direct object pointer, and I don't believe that that's an object pointer. That it doesn't mean anything. I believe that X there is actually making a reference to the beginning and the end, which is the Messiah. And then we have the next, the third word in the second line. Everybody knows that those letters there. So the first letter is a,
Yo.
and the second is a, and a,
Hey.
so we have Yahuah, and we have Elohika. So we have an Aleph, right? We have a Lamed, we have a Hey, we have a Yod, and that last letter is a, you said Dalet?
No, that's not me.
Without the,
Yeah, it looks like a Dalet.
It's not. The man.
it's something else.
The man is not.
Yeah.
The man.
A Lamed? Yeah, it looks like a Lamed too. It's,
That's not it, man.
it's, Kaf.
The top.
Kaf. That's not ancient though. Just right, that was a bit better. Because remember, Zakan, you remember back in the day, this helps out a little. Remember, back in the day, with the Paleo Hebrew, it was the,
So that's Abaga Daha was
yeah.
yeah.
We got Lord, Son, So these are the 22
Right.
letters here. Again, this is Paleo. Okay, this is not Aramaic. So long story short, we have Elohika, and then the next word we have is a we have Elohika, and then we have
Bet.
right, we have a vet.
That was a cop. Oh, this is a cop?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, cop.
You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth, the second line, the fifth word. The fifth word we're working on. In the last letter, we have a lamed. So that's bikal. And then the last word in that line, we have a lamed, a bet, and a kuf or kaf final. Okay, a kaf final. And like we had talked about with these Hebrew words here, is that with the Aramaic, everybody remember what's the difference between this and this, right? Right. So this seed inside of the house, and this seed, there's no seed in this house. So this is a ba, this is a bet, which is another lesson which goes into the purpose of that olive. So and this is what they're doing with this Aramaic Hebrew here when we begin to look at they call it the Geshes and the Kuds. And the last word we have is ladita, or ladita, because of the vowel pointing system, which means your heart. So, Maki, if you can read the second line.
And you shall love Yahuah, your Elohim, with all your heart.
With some of your heart. Great. So, the third line is, everybody's good, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
With all your
Yeah, so we have that word all. I just wanted to make sure everybody's on their toes here. So, kal in Hebrew means all or everything. All your might, with all your ruach, is how we're supposed to love Yahuah. Next line we have an an u, we have a bet, a kaf, and a lamed, and we have an u, which means and we have bikal, we have a nun, we have a fe, we have a sheen, and we have a kaf again. And that word there is nafi shika, which is your soul. And then we have the u again, which means what? And. Right? And so we have bikal. And then we have, anybody know what that next letter is?
Mem.
Exactly. The next one is a Right. The next one is, and we have a final there, because there are finals in Hebrew. We get into that next week, but that's a cloud. So that word there, because of the vowel pointing system, that would be pronounced mo, biolika, which means your strength. Then we have the u again, we have the hey, we have the yo, and we have the u. So we have and ha-ua, or ha-ia, ha-iu, excuse me, ha-iu. And they will be, and then we have an hey, and the next letter is a what? You said a bet. We have a hey, we have a dalit, we have a bet, we have a resh, we have a yod, and a mem final. And everybody knows that word there. That word is da-barim. Ha-da-barim. So if Aki, you could read line 3.
And with all your soul, and with all your strength, and they will be the words.
Right, so the next line we have a hey, we have an aleph, we have a lamed, we have a hey, so the ha is the, we have elea. We have the next line, we have an aleph, a sheen, and a resh, which is ashir. The next line we have an aleph, a nun, kuf, and a yod. We have a nuki. Next line we have a mem. Anybody know what that next letter is? We have because sadeh, or sadiq, right? Sadiq. And we have u, we have another kuf final. So we have meets uka. Meets uka. And again, the vowel pointing is going to be the changer with everything, because we have a net, but this is actually with the vowel pointing system. And this is the reason why I'm putting the Shabbat. Oh man, I didn't make 1 minute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this, because I'm just going to go ahead and try to finish it up. We have the next word is ha yom, which means today. Al leba bikar. The next word is we have the u, we have shina nitam, we have liba neika. And we have, what I'm going to do, Mr. Carr, we're running out of time here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with this, the next class. And what we're going to do here, the next class is explain why we do Yahuah and not Yahuah and Yovah. We're going to go into the vowel point system and everything like that, and show how we drop letters, and explain why we say Yahusha and not, we say Yahusha and not, Yahushua and all these other names, you know. So we'll get into that next week. With that, Mr. Carr, I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Okay, so what we're going to do is, Okoti, she made the announcements when Pesach is going to be. It's going to be April 4th. April 3rd. April 3rd. You're absolutely correct. April 3rd, and we have the rest of the festivals to you before next week is out, all right? So you can make those announcements. And what we're going to do is we're going to stand in prayer. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. And then we're going to close it there. And then after. No. Oh, yeah, I'm not finished. Because, yeah, Maury, he's coming up. Let's leave that. No, I'm not doing something that you wanted to bring to my attention. It's something you wanted to do right now. Oh, okay, yeah. No, we're not. So what I'm going to do after Mr. Carr, we're going to stand up and face the east. Okay, and I'm going to blow the shofar 7 times. Okay, and we'll have our moray to end us with prayer.
Hallelujah.
Okay, we have a Moreh, Yahuah, to end the Shabbat with the seventh-day service here.
Yahuah, we thank you for all that has been said and been done. We thank you for your love and kindness. We thank you for how you brought us out. And we thank you for your word that you brought forth by Chief Moreh Kasadabad. And we just thank you just for everyone that participated today and came out to be with us. We ask that you just continue to look over the nation of Yashra'al, give us strength as you continue to keep us encamped, around by your Malachims, and just to protect us from all hurt, harm, and danger. And we just thank you for everything you do for us. We thank you for the food that you have provided for us today to break bread and fellowship with each other. We ask that you show favor and grace to the hands that prepared it. We just ask you to continue to baruch your people and show them favor and continue to provide them with food, clothing, and shelter and supply their daily bread every day. We thank you for everything. In the precious name of your Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Okay, so from here, the class is over, and basically, we can close recordings. And we're going to have our Moreh, Yahuah, to come up, and he's going to discuss a few things that we believe that is very important to the congregation, about some upcoming events and some visitors that we have coming through, to try and